everybody, I am here with comic book legend Freddie Williams. And Freddie, last time you were on the show, you picked out 3 movies based on the quality of their cover art. Well, you are here again to choose through our vast array of sci-fi, horror, and action movies to find the absolute best covers we have.
Yeah, that's right. I went through all of your movies. You have a huge selection. I went through every single one to find the best cover art. That's why I'm here.
All right. And the first movie you chose, Freddie, was Cybernator. So what is Cybernator all about?
Oh, Cybernator. First of all, is the highest quality image. It's got the guy from Prometheus and Locutus, but he's melting. All right. Cybernator. The year is 2010, so it's the future. Earth has become a world where the economy has collapsed. The future, and the government has fallen, and violence reigns supreme. All power has fallen under the military control as military-trained cyborg assassins turn against them.
I can see that happening by 2010.
Yes, yeah.
See you later, Trump.
Oh!
Weave, you okay?
His face acting was amazing!
Under the command of a renegade Colonel Peck, the cyborgs wage an all-out war against all political and military officials.
Just everybody.
Yes, everybody.
Indiscriminately.
The outlaw cyborg assassins have just involved police officer Brent McCord and his partner Jim Weaver in the murder of a senator and his stripper girlfriend. It's getting better every sentence that I read. When mounting evidence points to the 2 officers, McCord and Weaver find themselves the victims of a violent shootout that leaves Weaver dead and McCord searching for revenge. We don't even need to watch it.
Yeah.
At this point, I see the whole film in my mind. Taking matters into his own hands, McCord searches for the answers himself, but when McCord finds out the ugly truth behind the cyborg assassins, his life will be changed forever. Catch the exciting action and explosive finish of Cybernator, so stick around to the end because it's going to be explosive.
You tried to put it back in. All right, you know what? I'm down with this.
These images on the back are very intriguing. Oh wait, I like the, this was very popular in like the late 80s, early 90s, this sort of a chrome effect in Photoshop. It like comes stock as the gradient. Well, that's great.
Yeah, okay, let's check it out.
My dear, I'm well aware. The smell of perfume lingers in your hair.
This is strip club music. This scene was imagined so much differently. It's like a film noir with cyborgs and a seedy strip joint. Oh God, this is how it turned out. This is not like Blade Runner at all.
Okay, Freddie, so our next film that you chose based on the box art
All on me.
was Panther Squad. Freddie, why did you choose Panther Squad?
Well, there's 2 very big reasons. She has blonde hair, right? That's adventurous. And then I like the color green. And she's got like a green vest on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
I didn't notice the color of her jacket.
Oh, okay.
I was too busy staring at her.
What is the shots of Sybil Danning? She's outside somewhere.
I don't understand what's going on. Beautiful and ready to fight. Sultry Sybil Danning stars in this action-packed adventure as a sleek and sexy agent out to bring law and order. Ilona, the Panther, can turn you on with her body, then tear you apart with her bare hands. She is an unequaled mistress of the martial arts, and she'll kill to prove it.
If you want to fight, fight. Don't talk.
Yeah, that's right. Get to the action.
What?
Fight!
What was that lady smoking?
Just the awkward cutaways during fight scenes.
They didn't get any other kind of cutaways during the fight scene.
You don't need cutaways. Just show them fighting.
Her mission begins when a revolutionary anti-pollution group sabotages the latest manned spaceflight and kidnaps the standby pilot. Space officials turn to Ilona and her Panther Squad of ruthless women. The Panther Squad must penetrate the rebels' fortress and kill the leader in order to save the space program and the world. Beautiful and sexy. The Panther Squad gives you non-stop action.
All right.
Running time 77 minutes.
That's right. You beat up all those guys.
They're gone! They took Jane!
Which one's Jane? Yeah.
Sybil Danning is...
Danning. Oh, yeah. Give me some of that, Danning.
It was weird because you made eye contact with me when you said that part.
Give me some of that, Danning. Yeah. Stick that gun down your pants, Sybil Danning. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go watch this alone.
Mankind's new age of space has begun.
What's the opposite of climax? Okay, Freddie, what do we have next?
We have Project Metalbeast, DNA Overload. And actually, for real, I thought that this was a piece of artwork when I first glanced at it because the claws are illustrated, pretty cool. But the rest are just like photos stuck in there.
Well, now I feel cheated.
All right, so now I'm going to read the really extensive text description on the back. A highly secretive DNA experiment to create the ultimate warrior creates the ultimate nightmare.
Oh.
Get him! Get him!
Roger, what are you doing out here?
I'm waiting for you. I don't think we should go in there.
What's he doing?
Sleeping, but I don't know for how long.
Better just make sure he doesn't wake up.
I'm gonna go home.
My shift's over. Man's rich. You can't believe you said that.
Oh my God, this new table is so vast.
It's a big table.
It's a big table.
It's round.
It's awesome.
Well, it's oval.
In green.
I mean, you should know it's oval. You made it. This is the work of Rich Evans. This new table.
Beautiful work.
Yeah.
So, Freddie Williams is back.
Yes, yay.
On the best of the worst. We have our brand new table.
Too large of a table. Look at all this space.
It's awesome.
What are we gonna do with that over there? Look at all this real estate.
I feel like there should be a giant turkey there.
We're at like the kids' table, I feel like.
Yeah, the worst Thanksgiving ever. But Freddie picked out all three of these films based on their beautiful cover art. Tell us all about Cybernator.
So Cybernator is about Mr. Eyebrows, who does a lot of this kind of acting and drove me crazy throughout the entire movie, but he's the main character, he's a detective. Him and his partner are living in a world where cyborgs exist and exist and mingle among people. It's not an uncommon occurrence to see cyborgs, but basically the main character, Detective Eyebrows and Detective Yaphet, basically...
Yaphet Kotto from Alien is in this film.
And
I don't know how they got him.
He does a great job. He's laser and bullet resistant. Takes many, but...
Only partially.
Not resistant.
Yeah.
What?
They go trying to look and see why there's so many senators that are being killed. It is illegal for the military to have cyborgs. So the secret government man in his dark office sent his cyborgs, his military secret cyborgs, to kill senators so that they could pass the law. This is all stuff that's clearly stated in the film that I didn't just make up, for sure.
It makes sense.
I understand more than you think.
But I voted against. Project canceled. I'm a friend of the cyborg lobby.
Looks like your date has expired, Senator.
You are definitely fucked.
What's happening? I just feel like the senator thing gets abandoned after that shootout at the strip club that I'm sure we'll get to, but then it just becomes nonsense.
Yeah, the main character can sure fight like he's some sort of a cyborg.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
This is exciting.
This is awkward. That's what it is.
And then, like, right after that, he's a cyborg.
So it's Blade Runner meets Terminator on a comically shoestring budget.
And that's the charming quality of Cybernator.
That's the only charming quality of Cybernator. It's so charmingly pathetic.
That's the best word to describe it, is pathetic.
The set is so sad. That's the word I'd use to describe it. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you imagine this atmospheric, like a little bit of smoke wisping through a triangular-shaped spotlight that's casting basically like rim lights on the outer parts of the contours of people's faces. And instead what you see is just a guy sitting in a strip club, and there's like empty seats behind him and like really flimsy tables.
Christmas lights.
Christmas lights.
Christmas lights lining the stage of the VFW hall where they shot it.
It was like a VFW hall with those chairs, the stackable wedding chairs that they have. But that scene was like shocking. But then like halfway through the film, there's a similar scene where there's a belly dancer, this woman of size, who was doing like a belly dance thing in like a dirty alley with like a fire going and like homeless people. And it looked like they really took their time, like lighting it and kind of setting an atmosphere.
Some of my best friends are toasters. Fuck.
There's the firework that slowly burnt up.
Oh, humans bleed good. Humans bleed real good.
And then after that point, it felt like it was shot by either a different director or it was a completely different movie.
Well, my theory was that was the first stuff they shot, because movies are not shot in order, and they shot those scenes, and then they were like, this is too much work.
It took them 2 weeks to shoot this one scene. That
was what they had planned for the entire shoot.
Yeah.
So they were behind schedule, so like, fuck it, for the rest of the movie.
Slap it all together.
Yeah.
Are you talking about this or Space Cop?
Yes.
All right, so back to Cybernator, though. So we have the opening strip club, and there's an actual exotic dancer who starts off, and
she's covered in baby oil.
It kind of scared me a little. I thought, what is this movie going to be? Because it was not very like tastefully shot or anything. It's just like
flat angle.
Flat angle and
awkward.
Her groinular area was right down the barrel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, also the very first stripper, she's in front of a completely black backdrop, and she's wearing long arm-length gloves that are also black. So for large portions of it, it looks like we're watching an amputee.
We thought maybe she was like cyborg in the making, like she had yet to get her
robot arms.
And they were trying to do a thing like she doesn't have arms, but she's But then we're like, no. What? No,
That would have actually been interesting to establish like a need for consumer level bionics or cybernetics or whatever it was, but no, it's nothing like that.
That would have been world building.
Yeah, we're world building.
It's the cyborg equivalent of like, I'm only working here to pay my way through college.
Right.
It's like, I'm only working here to pay my way to robot arms.
To get my robot arms.
Yeah, I just want to get my robot arms.
There's like the nuclear fallout caused genetic mutations, so like girls are born with no arms.
Yeah.
The ones with no legs, sadly, can't get jobs as dancers in the strip club.
The ones born without breasts are just shit out of luck. How amazing are our cyborg costumes in this film?
Yeah, we got it.
Well, that's, the introduction to the strip club scene. You just see a wide shot of the crowd, and it's just like...
Here's some plastic shit. I'm gonna put it on your face.
Yeah.
Here are these 80s sunglasses. You're a cyborg now.
Yeah, the introductory scene of your movie shouldn't be the scene where you've given up. I mean, that's essentially what it was.
Yes.
It's like a cosplay guy at a convention just comes on.
A lot of cosplayers are way better than this.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
They
way
put
better.
way more effort
Unless
into
they're
their...
cosplaying Cybernator.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? You see somebody who doesn't look that good, but it's way more sophisticated than that. His story of who he's playing takes a long time.
You're playing the tube guy from Cybernator. Oh my God, that's amazing. I worked really hard to get that line of definition on this spell set.
See, the thing I couldn't take my eyes off of was our lead actor's face.
Oh, God, I wanted to.
He's very much a face actor.
Yeah, this guy is just the worst.
You want from me? Can't you see that something is very, very wrong?
Yes, we can.
With my face.
With my face.
You know, I have disease, and I can't control my face muscles.
I mean, this was like the first scene they shot, and they said, "Don't do that anymore."
He's acting sad.
It's like a bad Brando impression or something.
Yeah.
Possibly the worst we've ever seen.
It's like me underwears guy from The Room starred in a movie.
Yeah. Well, and it seems you can just tell, like from watching it, that this is like a ego-driven young actor dude, because his hair is like he's got the perfect, just the right amount of strands hanging down. You can tell like that was very important to him.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
God, so embarrassing.
Is he gonna do the Harrison Ford? Yeah.
Oh.
Except they fucked up the timing of it.
Oh God! Yeah.
The way he cocked
Steven
that
Spielberg
shotgun.
did it better. That matte painting in the beginning, though.
Oh, there was one matte painting.
It was Blade Runner level.
They
quality.
spent all their budget. They hired a guy to do a painting, and then he said, "I'm not doing any more paintings."
And they dwell on it. They're like,
there it is. And they zoomed in on
and then
it.
they
for a
zoom
long
out so you
time.
can see the brush strokes.
Yes.
Although at that point, it's not a matte painting. It's just a painting. Because it's not technically matted onto anything.
They're not incorporating it with live
It's
action.
not a composite image. It's just we're zooming in on a painting.
Do you think that painting is hanging in one of the people that worked on the movie? It's hanging in their house now?
Jay.
Do you think it's...
That painting's in a landfill.
"Aw, that wasn't too bad of a painting." I'm not saying it was
No,
like
the painting was great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's in a landfill.
it makes me sad.
It's in a garage. It's in a trunk.
Okay.
With other like film reels.
It's in the trunk of the car that Eyebrows Man lives in.
I used to be an actor.
Weave, you okay?
Yeah, they got me, pal. But they didn't get me good.
You're too late for your meeting. Oh no, that guy keeps getting shot.
We think that his partner is a goner because he's been shot a couple of times, right?
By laser guns.
By laser guns. Well, they didn't seem lasery at first, but then they got lasery later in the same scene.
They upped the laser effects.
Yes.
Yeah, which is just a straight line that they matted in.
Oh,
look at those laser blasts! Oh, it's so pathetic.
That's the same guy.
Oh God!
Everything's wrong.
Oh. And then whenever they start to stumble across this, the greater plot or the greater plan, which is basically this has to do something with the military. We're going to go talk to a colonel or a general, whatever he was.
There's a lot of people they talk to in the same office.
Yeah, the office that they had was very patriotic.
Oh,
no! Oh, boy. Oh, wait.
You got a little tank.
Yeah, is this supposed to be the colonel's office? I think so. Oh, okay.
Is it time to talk about the set now?
We need to talk about the real star of the film, which is the set design.
Oh, look at this cave.
Is this a cave?
That's rock.
Oh.
How dare you think it's something else?
It's definitely not paper mache. They had 2 walls with seams featured very prominently, and they repurposed those walls many, many times. I don't remember which set has the, when you open the door to go into the set, there's the signage on the wall pointing to...
I think it's like the military guy.
Yeah,
because it says like biohazard testing lab that way or something.
Something like that, but it's just like stencils and Sharpie, and it's just taped to the wall.
8.5 by 11 sheet of paper.
Yeah.
You know you've already lost.
It's the top of the set.
You might as well come out.
Lou, you gotta get real. This is gonna be dangerous.
That's right. You could get killed. And I'm not gonna live without you, McCord. If we go together.
You realize what you're getting yourself into?
Yes.
Okay. You're not going there without me because I can't live without you if you die.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come with you and become a horrible distraction.
Yes.
Which could possibly get you killed.
Yeah.
So that I have to live without you after you're done. He picks the lock of a door and goes into a room that has a singular filing cabinet in it that holds all the military's greatest secrets behind a single little lock in a dentist's office. But the point of the scene was that in the files, he discovers that he is, in fact, a cyborg.
Yes.
He had died at some point in some kind of operation, military related, I assume?
Yes.
And they had been reborn as a cyborg with internal parts, not terrible Borg parts or Taco Bell sunglasses. Spray painted silver. So he doesn't have to be embarrassed.
So his partner, Detective Yaphet, is the one, once he died, this put McCord on a line of revenge. Now it's less about solving the case, although that might come about naturally, because he has like a falling out with his police detective. They have that standard scene where it's like, I turn in my badge.
I quit.
Yeah, I quit.
Detective guy we know from Place.
Yeah, he seemed familiar.
That's the scene where he's like half sitting on his desk the whole time for no reason.
It's very posy. Both of them are very posy.
We got to block this differently than sitting at your desk or you sitting here.
But we only have 2 walls.
So why don't you sit on your desk? Like,
Don't sit too hard or the fake desk will collapse.
which will knock the wall down.
Yeah.
Which will collapse the building we're in. Because we're in an abandoned warehouse.
Okay, so then we get to Donald Trump. So
oh my God, Donald Trump. Yeah.
So Donald Trump has a plan here. He basically wants to usurp the military guy who's doing the black ops with the illegal military grade cyborgs. So he basically blackmails McCord, keeping his girlfriend Blue as collateral. I want McCord to go kill off these other 2 military cyborgs for me. That way I'll have, I'm speaking as if I'm Donald Trump, of course, but that way I'll have control over this, or I'll be able to usurp the bad guy. And he has the best cyborgs. So he sends in...
Yes, he does.
He's the best cyborgs.
Donald Trump and Dr. So-and-so, who are sitting in Grandma's living room.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to that, can I ask a question? Why is it always Grandma's house? Doesn't anybody have like an uncle that will let them film? Like we'll film at Uncle George's house. That way, our macho hero's house doesn't have doilies everywhere.
Here's my answer.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, when you're like a low-budget filmmaker, Grandma's house is the mansion. Because Grandma's house costs $6.8 million in Los Angeles real estate.
Okay.
And Mega Millionaire Mansion, which is what they want to use, is way out of their production budget.
Okay.
So they live in the 1-bedroom or studio apartment. Where the bedroom is right by the front door, and there's like a college refrigerator, and the bathroom is in the living room. You know, that's where the filmmaker lives. Grandma's house is the lavish estate that he wrote in his screenplay.
Yeah, these couches were outstanding.
Well, that was the best, right after the big climax, which we'll get to the final confrontation of the movie, but we cut from this big end action scene to Donald Trump and his guy just sitting on Grandma's couch.
Yeah. That was the best hard cut.
Yeah.
In a while.
Wow! Look at this magic.
And a mist effect added in post.
Meanwhile, at Grandma's
waiting at the house.
Okay, so Tube Guy. We got to talk about Tube Guy, and I'm sorry I derailed that, but
that's fine. Oh no, laser blast!
Oh, it was adorable. They laid down.
They got sleepy.
I gotta get back in the van now. With my cape. Still closer cape at the door.
Just flapping outside
don't let your
the
cape
door.
get caught in the wheel.
Tube Guy he looks like Prometheus guy, just not quite as buff or big.
Engineer.
Yeah, the engineer or an engineer.
Mixed with like a Hellraiser Cenobite kind of.
Clearly they cast him for his look because he's kind of weird looking, tall. Yeah. Probably could do a little fighting because there's a little fighting, but couldn't act his way out of a paperback.
He could have been the man that dusted Deep Throat and Ratchet Jaw at the club.
What?
That guy's so bad.
So instead of dubbing him over with a deep, menacing, robotish voice, they just let him
He just
talk.
talks.
And he's stumbling over lines. He's terrible, and it's just awful.
Yeah. Well, and the weirdest thing is like there's so many robots in this movie. He's the only one with tubes in his head. Why does he need those tubes?
He loves somebody milk. Thought it looked cool.
Especially if you're gonna have him like the whole movie's building up towards this big fight scene. And then you have him like awkwardly, rolling around with these tubes flapping everywhere. Like it looks ridiculous.
That was so they could do the clever defeat where he gets the tubes pulled out from his head.
Yeah. But
and he holds them like this while they spurt.
The problem is
that was the climax of the film.
Real quick, the tubes could have been described as they pump like adrenaline into his heart that gives him so much strength, and he's crazy. But he has this thing on his belt, this electromagnetic field that protects him, so you can't get near him. But for no reason at all, he says, I have this ray gun or this laser gun, but I want to fight you mano a mano, and I'm gonna throw it down. Come at me, bro. And then they fight. He's like, come within reaching and pulling out tube range. And then immediately, eyebrow, hair man.
Yes, Detective
McCord.
Eyebrows. Yeah.
Pulls out the tubes.
He could have done, in a fight like that, he could have done it accidentally.
Yeah.
It still could have happened.
The cords are floppy
done it
and loose.
himself. Like, what?
Gets caught on a pipe.
It's like Darth Maul with the double lightsaber, like accidentally like spinning it like this and cutting himself in half. Mm-hmm. You have to be really skilled with that thing in order to use it effectively. Tube Man, he's got to know.
No, they're fighting. Those things are just flailing around.
But this film ends with Detective Eyebrows not being on the set. He said, I've had enough of this, and he leaves.
Right.
And written very cleverly on the mirror, it says, fuck you. That's never said in the rest of the film, I don't think, by the way.
I think that was just a Catcher in the Rye reference.
Okay.
Yeah, they were trying to do a very clear. That's a thing, a Catcher in the Rye. Yeah, anywhere you go, someone's been there first and scribbled "fuck you." So I think it was a very clever literary reference.
Oh, baby, yeah, you're right.
Much like Catcher in the Rye, this movie makes me want to kill someone.
All right, so the last two shots of it are them in silhouette kissing. It's probably not the same actors. And then them from behind in a convertible driving kind of into the sunset, but not really. There's no sunset, but that's what the shoot would normally imply. It's like the way it's driving into the distance.
Just like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It's just like Blade Runner.
Except it's not the same actors. They didn't show up. But wow, what a film.
What a film.
I think the cover is the best part of it. And just for everyone who didn't get the joke, of course it's terrible looking. Like that was, I didn't pick it for
just
any
to
artistic
make sure people
integrity.
before you never get work again.
Yeah. Somebody's like, that's what he thinks looks good.
I think we've talked enough about Cybernator. What a film. What a time.
Yeah,
Am I right?
that's enough for now at least.
Go I understand you're looking for me. Here I am.
Okay.
Our next film is called Panther Squad. I know who I want to explain this plot. Jay.
That was so obvious. You're getting
Rich,
so
tell us all about Panther Squad.
Panther Squad is Belgian, but really, spiritually, it's Italian. There you go.
You had that ready to go. I know you did. But talk about the plot.
It's Italian. It's like every Italian movie we've ever watched, where it kind of resembles a movie, but things happen and it's just generally confusing.
Jay, tell us all about Panther Squad.
Well, spiritually, it's Italian.
Realistically, it's Belgium.
Yeah.
Or French, because the director's from France.
Shot in Belgium, directed by a French guy. So we have two layers of confusion.
Written by a Mongoloid.
There is a rocket that gets shot up into space.
A space jeep.
They call it the space jeep.
Your space jeep is therefore under our control.
And once it goes out of our atmosphere, it transforms into a different ship, I guess. It looks completely different. It transforms from stock footage into a miniature. And then we have Fidel Hitler, is what we called him, right?
Yes.
That's
jumping way down the plot.
But this is where it starts, though. We have an unknown villain, we'll say, at the beginning of the film that sabotages the mission to the point where the space jeep spins out of control.
Clean space requires the cancellation of the entire space program.
The Earth has been lost essentially, but we're not going to let you pollute space.
Environmental terrorists.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they use a jamming device to make the space jeep go out of control.
And there's only one other human being on the planet
entire
who knows how to
planet.
fly the ship.
The backup astronaut.
And our terrorists kidnapped the backup astronaut that's meant to go up into space to save the spinning ship.
I don't want the bread. I'm watching my carbs.
Someone somewhere tells Sybil Danning about this.
She seems...
It's unclear.
She comes to him and checks in.
Yeah, and she says, I'm
It's
going
Italian.
to... But Sybil Danning is dressed like she's in a post-apocalyptic film, and she says, I'm going to rescue the one person that can fly the ship to save the other ship, and I'm going to bring on my group of sexy ladies. They're going to come off the plane, and we're not going to be introduced to any of them. They're just background extras, basically.
Literally, I don't even know any of the team's names.
Yeah, but we jokingly called them the Fox Force 5, which is the Quentin Tarantino in Pulp Fiction. That was Uma Thurman's. Her character was on a pilot.
It was a show about a team of female secret agents called Fox Force 5.
What?
Fox Force 5. Fox as in we're a bunch of foxy chicks. Force as in we're a force to be reckoned with. And 5 as in there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
And so this group of ladies, led by Sybil Danning,
Okay, divide and conquer. You to the bar, and you go get nosy.
We've never heard any of their names, right? Okay.
I've never even gotten a close-up of any of them.
You.
This is my favorite shot in the movie.
Yeah, naturally. Look at that.
there was like a fake front for the Hitler,
Fidel Hitler.
Fidel Hitler.
There is nothing and no one to stop me now. I will be the Lord and Master of the world.
Of the world.
Tell us what you really think.
His plan to ultimately conquer the universe.
The universe.
As he said.
Right, yeah.
And he was a little crazy.
I gotta give him credit for being very, very ambitious.
You, my people, you, my faithful companions in arms, you will rule the universe!
Well, I don't know what the next step is. I sabotage this space mission. Something happens.
Step 1, sabotage the space mission.
Yeah.
Step 2, kidnap June. Step 3, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step 4, profit.
Yes.
The magnetic barrage originates in our own space center, right here near the palace. From there, we will dominate the world.
This is like the opening of The Naked Gun.
Yeah. They really hate space, all space progress.
He's thoroughly establishing that the jamming station is on the base. That's the whole point of it. But.
So it's up to Sybil Danning and her squad, the Panther Squad, to stop him, I guess.
Yeah,
We're not introduced to any of these women. None of them even get close-ups at any point. We don't know any of their names.
You and you stand watch. The others hit the sack.
Isn't there a part where...
The fight scenes don't even get close-ups.
No, they barely get coverage.
They don't get coverage. There's a fight scene. There's a fight scene in this movie where, you know, the Sybil Danning's walking down the street, and of course 3 men just try to rape her. And she gets into a fight.
That's your assumption. We don't know what happens.
We don't know what happens.
She just walks into frame and a fight happens.
But during that fight, they have to cut to something. They just cut to a living room where no one's in it.
An empty living room!
Oh no, she disappeared!
They just cut to the room. Oh my goodness. So much power. Do it. Taking too long.
This is fucking weird.
The Bionic Woman?
That's what it feels like.
Early on in a bar, there's an informant that says something about a boat before he dies.
The boat. Lord Byron. Boat.
The backup astronaut, once kidnapped, is brought to a yacht where the hostage tape, after she's injected with like a sedative, and then a hostage tape is made by the German man who's reading the hostage negotiation.
Oh yeah, they give him all the lines.
The demands. He's like, we will not stop until the Space Force is ended, blah, blah, blah.
You are already aware of our preventing your signals from reaching your so-called space jeep.
An informant tells them that a yacht, that particular yacht, is involved in the kidnapping of the backup astronaut who was going to be sent to save the man who was on the space jeep. Right?
Yes.
So Fox Force 5 says, our first clue, get to that yacht.
Go to that boat.
That boat. But Sybil Danning has something else up her sleeve.
It's a deception within a deception within a deception. 2 of the Panther Squad babes distract the 2 guys on a boat, while 2 other babes sneak on the boat. So you think the plan is the distraction to get the girls on the boat so the girls can do something on the boat. But that's also a fake thing, because those 2 girls that sneak on the boat are supposed to get kidnapped and put in bubble wrap so Sybil Danning can follow the bubble-wrapped encased women to the secret base.
Thus making the initial distraction girls completely pointless.
But when Sybil Danning has a plan, you got to follow it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of guns, though, the good thing is the Fox Force 5, whenever they're in a situation where they don't have a gun, they can easily obtain one through the power of awkward editing.
Nice job.
lady.
I wanted her to have more of a commanding role, and I wanted her to be more. I mean, there had to be some sort of a squad, I guess. But if she had basically,
You're watching a movie from the early '80s. That was never going to happen.
Well, it's very telling when we're introduced to the Panther Squad, and the very first thing they do is just strip down and go swimming, like immediately.
Yeah. There is literally a man in space spinning around, holding on for dear life, and they get to whatever country they're in. I don't know, Belgium.
Belgium, I think.
And she's like, "Well, we'll look for the backup astronaut tomorrow. Today, ladies, it's time to party." And they get to their location, they just drop their bags and start swimming.
Yeah,
right there.
The astronaut is probably being held on a boat around the harbor. We'll hit first thing in the morning. Today, just relax and welcome to sunny Wazura.
Oh, there was a UN guy who was delivering all of his lines like this.
On the box with the sheet over it?
Yeah.
There was a podium?
Yeah.
The President of NU, the new Organization of Nations, is about to announce an event of the utmost importance.
Citizens of the world.
They didn't have a podium.
It's
a box with a cloth over it.
New Organization of Nations.
But do you feel like this was made, or do you presume that this is made before The Howling 2? It looks like she is older, but
I think it's right around the same time.
Because like Howling 2, not that it was a great film, but it has much better production value, and here she looks like she's an older person, like it's old, she's older in this film, but this looks like it.
Are you saying it should have been called Cougar Squad?
You can't tame this beast.
Were you giving the detective eyebrows performance? That's what
you can't tame this beast.
I'm so upset about my partner.
Oh, I'm so upset about my partner. Me underwears.
Me underwears. Then I'm taking off me underwears.
I wanted to see a lot more of her, and I mean that in a screen time type of way, not in the outfit sort of way. Yeah.
This might have been like a vacation shoot.
Oh, sure.
Like hey, what? What? There's some beaches around, and some old villages. It's really pretty. And,
we're gonna film by some yachts, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got 4 vehicles. They all look the same. You won't be able to tell who's doing what.
40% of the movie is her looking through binoculars. That's like inserted in multiple scenes.
Oh God, the binoculars! I forgot about the binoculars.
Paper
Do you remember
binoculars.
Yeah, the paper binoculars.
cutout.
Yeah, they can't hold it steady.
I wasn't implying that Sybil Danning used cocaine in the 80s.
You're just implying that everybody used cocaine in the 80s.
I was implying that everybody used. Yeah, I'll do that role. Yachts, sunshine, the Mediterranean, sunbathing.
I'll bring my own wardrobe.
Coke.
That's implying that's her outfit. Coke? A cola?
A cola? Yes, I'm there. 60% of the film you're looking through binoculars and close up, Sybil.
There's one scene where you have to ride a motorcycle with a duck on it.
But it'll be a body double. Do I have to have sex with anyone? No.
Not on camera.
Except for the producer, the executive producer, the screenwriter, the Foley artist, the production assistant, and the best boy. We call him the best boy because he's in charge of the power. He's really bad at sex. And he's a man.
That made me sad.
Oh, Hollywood is horrible.
Yes, that's right. Shoot them guns. What?
Why did she turn around?
She has a sixth sense. That's how
she got out of the car facing the wrong way.
Like, they should all be slaughtered. They're in a terrible defensive position.
Sitting ducks, just like the icon on the front of her.
Well, let's talk about the climax of the film. Apparently, Sybil Danning, the Panther Squad leader, has a special secret weapon only to be used once.
For some reason.
Per the request of mustached financier man.
It's only when there's no other options available.
When all options are lost, then you can use the secret gun. What happens with the secret gun?
It has some wonderful neon effects. Straight out of Tron. It's straight out of Tron.
It still frames the image so that there's no motion, no movement, and then a beam slowly emerges that's been drawn on the frame, and then it engulfs in an outline the Jeep, and I guess Fidel Hitler.
Yeah. And all of his cohorts.
And they,
I don't know why this is a last resort weapon. It should be a first resort weapon.
Yeah.
Only to be used in case of emergency. A last resort.
Oh, super gun. Oh, wow.
Oh, I hope Jane wasn't still on the Jeep.
Whoops.
We have to stop this guy. Boom, done.
No problem.
Well, real quick, the big threat of the movie, which is disabling the space, jamming station.
Oh, that's okay. The professor already did that.
Some random professor who we were introduced at the board meeting with Fidel Hitler goes and disables the thing.
Yeah.
He does.
The whole point of what they were trying to do.
He accomplishes the mission of the Panther Squad all on his own. She assassinates Fidel Hitler and all of his cohorts with a laser gun.
Well, we think she assassinates him.
But
She might have sent them to another dimension. We have no idea.
we never see them. We never see them rescue the backup pilot. We never see that.
Yeah.
We just cut to footage of the rocket taking off. Piloted by the June. She got in.
So we're presuming that June went and saved the pilot spinning in the.
Or presume that.
That's the
see a rocket
presumption.
take off.
Yeah, because there is the guy who's standing at the
But
podium.
we don't see her again, and we don't see the rocket that's been spinning the whole movie saved.
And all is well. And why she didn't use that gun earlier? Maybe it only takes one charge. It takes like 6 years to charge it. And,
You have to make sure that you're using it correctly.
Really sure that you use it properly, because it's not multi-use.
Yeah.
It's not like constantly using it. One shot, and she should have really aimed it at the whole space lab.
Yeah.
But she got Fidel Hitler and stopped his tyrannical quest for power.
It stopped him from ruling the universe.
What if she missed and it hit the ground and it just vaporized the whole Earth?
What? Is there supposed to be
Is
more
it gonna
special
blow up?
effects there? He stopped the jamming, I guess.
I need a drink.
Right?
Oh, it's over.
Citizens of the world, after an incident of no great importance, which
What happened?
delayed the launching of our space program.
Panther Squad. What a film.
An awkward film.
Well, everybody, our final film of the night. A film we've been looking forward to watching for a long time, and now we know that was a mistake. Cool title.
We learned a valuable lesson.
We learned a
Never
valuable-
look forward to anything.
That probably 98.6% of the films on our VHS wall are just utter garbage. And Project Metalbeast proves that theory. Tell us all about Project Metalbeast, Rich.
Project Metalbeast is about a werewolf who gets frozen. And then they unfreeze the werewolf and start grafting metal skin onto the werewolf to make a indestructible werewolf.
You'll be indestructible and under my control.
No, they didn't know it was a
Well,
werewolf.
the scientists didn't know that, but the evil colonel knew that it was going to make an indestructible werewolf who was mad at the colonel
Because of what happened in Budapest.
because of what happened in Budapest.
Yes.
I can hear Dr. Taylor and Dr. Barnes making fun about our trip to Budapest.
What happens in Budapest stays in Budapest.
And then the obvious thing happens, and the werewolf comes to life and murders everybody. So Metalbeast, it opens up, and I presume this is Budapest in the beginning, where Action Man tracks down a werewolf at a church, and we clearly see that it's a werewolf. And then they kill it and take its blood.
What kind of porn are you looking at? World's first furry.
Daniel Craig injects the werewolf blood into himself, turns into a werewolf, gets shot and frozen. And then the rest of the movie is about our scientist with the mystery of the frozen man. That we already know the answer to the mystery thanks to the beginning of the movie, thus releasing any tension or mystery there might have been.
All I want to know is when Daniel Craig injects himself with the werewolf blood in the bathroom at the military base, why was the mirror pre-broken?
That's just an accident that happened on set.
It was just unrelated.
They didn't have another mirror.
No, it's all about filmmaking. See, it's about his personality is fracturing. He was a career military man, and now he's taking a different path. When he looks at himself in that mirror, he doesn't see the man who he was previously. He's seeing a splintering version of himself into the monstrous direction that he's going.
You're completely full of shit.
First he tastes it. Remember?
Yeah.
He gets rid of the bubbles in the
It doesn't
syringe.
taste toxic.
Why not in the vein? Yeah, why not?
He was so eager. He was like real snippy with everyone.
Yeah.
He just kept barking like replies. Like he was.
Is that a pun?
Oh,
Barking
barking.
replies?
Yes.
I thought the whole thing was they were going to do experiments.
And that was in Budapest.
To try and refine the werewolf.
The Budapest was all about experimentation.
Yeah.
Making fun about our trip to Budapest.
So the metal-infused skin, I believe that the doctor had said their goal was to use it to help cancer patients. Is this correct? Am I remembering that correctly?
Because your skin falling off is a typical side effect of cancer. My skin fell off.
Yeah, and metal-infused skin is the solution, as we all know.
Yes.
This looked like, somebody had taken wrappers of double mint gum, like the foil, and just stuck it into like a piece of bacon, and and that's what she was trying to work with. And apparently she was saying that at a certain temperature it became hard and unresponsive or something like that, and it needed to be tested on a human.
But I feel you're ready to move on.
We still can't control the hardening process. We've never been able to keep it stable.
You don't want to say that in public. It's private. It's between you and your doctor.
How are you going to control this indestructible, immortal beast? Yeah. And so whenever they first wheel him out of storage...
Because he knows what happened in Budapest. he's going to go Kevin Spacey on him. I know who was at the parties. Brian. I'm going to sing, Brian.
I told you my deepest, darkest secrets.
Too topical? Yes. True? Very yes.
Yeah, that's really where it falters, is if they had more interesting, likable characters.
I was
it'd
mildly
be fine.
interested when, was it Steven? The little lab technician who seemed like he was slightly interested in our female lead. He's like, I'll help you. Would you like to get a drink sometime? Oh, wait, but first I'm going to help you. And I was like, hey, Steven, but there's some people. Yeah. People have relationships and they talk to each other.
And then they use him.
And they're humans. And then, they're like, oh, go stab that werewolf in the eye with a needle.
We're going to go somewhere else.
We'll be way over here on the other end of the facility.
You go stab that werewolf in the eye.
I guess that the more handsome military soldier guy who got shot in the arm.
The TWA pilot.
The Southwest Airlines pilot. And he's more of the love interest of the girl because he stalled while bad guy shot him in the arm. So because he loved the woman with the brown hair, the scientist.
Yeah.
Yes. Steven also loved her and he was willing to stab a werewolf in the eye with a needle. One says love more than the other. I'm going to stall this guy.
One says love, one says desperation.
That's on his Tinder profile. I'd stab a werewolf in the eye with a needle for you. Swipe.
Where do we put the needle?
Stick it in his eye. It's not gonna kill him. When I get back, I'll finish, okay?
Stick a needle in his eye. He'll take it real well. He'll be all right with it, George. You go.
We're gonna leave.
But we have to give some credit to the performance of the werewolf. Once it's no longer Daniel Craig, the actual werewolf is played by Kane Hodder,
who famously played Freddy Krueger.
Yes, in Nightmare on 13th Street.
In the Nightmare on 13th Street.
That's kind of true. The end of Jason Goes to Hell. You see the hockey mask. Freddy's glove comes out and pulls it under. That's Kane Hodder's hand.
You know that?
Yeah.
Jay, do you post comments under our videos?
Do you want me to cut that out? Because it's really embarrassing.
The Metalbeast looked cool.
Yeah.
It looked better. I didn't like the werewolf at the beginning. Like, that's the problem with a lot of werewolves, is they just look like guys in suits. But what?
I don't know. I think the Metalbeast is kind of a blobby mess.
Yeah. Me and Rich agree.
Oh, no, he's got like porcupine spikes.
No.
Like, got the red eyes. It's great.
Me and Rich were not impressed with the Metalbeast. I'm sorry, Joe.
What would you have done to improve the Project Metalbeast creature?
Not made the movie. If Project Metalbeast was a villain that appeared in Cybernator, I would have been impressed.
Ooh, oh, sure.
Yeah.
But for the first like 45 minutes of this movie where it looked like a good movie, and then at the end,
yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
I like the design of both the werewolf and of the porcupine cybernetic werewolf. And there's nothing wrong with half the table being wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Should have been like a cyborg werewolf.
Yeah.
With like a robot claw arm and.
Okay, yeah, he didn't have that. He had like robotic stuff stitched into him, and instead of having a mane of hair, he had like porcupine quills kind of sticking out of
his
his
chest was like a patchwork of skin, like that was like metal skin.
See, now you're coming around.
Yeah, but we
But it
didn't.
looked like crap.
But we didn't.
It looked like crap.
He should have went.
He should have like a laser eye that powered up.
He's not
shot out.
He's not a robot. He just has metal
It's
skin.
called Metalbeast. He should have been a robot.
A bigger problem is that there's no gore in the movie. Like, if you have no characters and you have no story, at least give us that.
I did get blood on demand.
That's true, yeah. The movie heard you.
Like that little bit of blood, and Rich was like, hey, I could use a little bit more. A little bit more.
And they gave you a little bit more.
A little more blood there.
They gave you a little more blood.
On demand.
Yeah.
Or Metalbeast could have shown up at a VFW Hall strip club.
That's really the problem. It needed to get out of the facility. Like, we have to stop seeing these same hallways over and over.
Metalbeast needed to wreak havoc on the general public.
When you began that sentence, you said that you would have liked the werewolf to go to the strip club, and I thought you meant like on stage. I didn't know what you were talking about. Like, all sorts of dancing with this Metalbeast.
You know where a werewolf has to go and attack?
Where?
A furry convention.
Oh, there you go.
That's a fucking movie waiting to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would he be waiting in line at security?
That's good costume. That's good costume.
Beep, beep. Oh. You got a bunch of metal in your beast? Go on in. You're just wearing one of those furry costumes, those weirdo costumes. And then he gets, and it's at the food court.
The military show up to like handle the situation, but they just end up shooting like one of the convention goers who was dressed up in a werewolf costume.
You have like the panicked radio of the, which one's the Metalbeast? They're just popping off like random furries. Chaos at the Holiday Inn.
Doesn't that happen in 28 Weeks Later? When there's like chaos in the streets and they tell the military like we don't know who's zombies, just start shooting everybody?
Yes,
It'd be
happens.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But with furries.
Abandon selective targeting. Shoot everything. Targets are now free. We've lost control.
Okay, so one of these technicians had like a silver coin collection, and I'm not sure why.
So he could turn them into silver bullets.
Yeah, but not bullets.
So it turns them into a silver turret, right? Is that what
Turret.
that's called? What is that called? Rocket. What is that called? What's a turret?
A turret is the thing on a tank that turns.
Yeah,
like
it's the
a
turning
like a
part.
gun turret.
Yeah, I thought it was a mortar. That might have been
Mortar,
What you were
maybe
thinking. Yeah, a mortar
it's
shell.
the
but
tip of a mortar or a shell that goes into a bazooka.
Yes.
Yeah.
A turret is like a gun
Yeah.
turret.
No,
that
mortar
turns
is what
out.
I meant. I was thinking turret, but I meant mortar. Anyway,
And Jay was in the army.
clearly.
The Salvation Army.
That's where he got
I
that.
saw where you
outfit.
got that sweatshirt, Jay.
This is yours, you know.
Yes, after Mike donated it.
what is that laugh?
You got that. You bought that shirt. That's a hand-me-down. How embarrassing!
You're making fun of your own shirt.
Why would you wear that in public?
I wouldn't actually. You told me to not wear my black hoodie because we're all wearing black.
What are you, a stoner or something? Like, what is that?
You're trying to insult me because of your shirt.
You want your DVD of Pineapple Express back? I'm so embarrassed to
I'm
be
just
sitting
glad
next
he's
to
not
you.
making fun of me.
No, Rich, you're solid.
You're solid. Making fun of himself. No.
Rich has his hoodie Superman Letterman jacket on. I mean, that's not embarrassing. But what Jay's wearing is more embarrassing.
And then the third one blows him the hell up.
I was really hoping for like a heavy metal band that turned into werewolves.
It needed some more rock music. Yeah, I agree.
I would be down for that.
Anything else?
Well, everybody, it's the time of the night where we discuss and pick which film of the three terrible films that we watched is best or the worst. I'll start with our special guest, Freddie Williams.
I have to go with Panther Squad. It's not that this is a clear, it doesn't have like a huge lead over the rest of the films.
None of these are winners tonight.
I just like Sybil Danning, and I was happy to see her in whatever capacity that she was in the film. It was good to see that. And didn't she have like a producer's credit or whatever? It's like I'm not sure if this was like a vanity project or she just wanted to have, it just felt like it was good to see her again, and it's something I hadn't seen her in before, so I enjoyed it most.
Jay?
It's close between these because there was a lot of laughs from both of them for very different reasons. I'm kind of leaning towards Panther Squad, also because of Sybil Danning.
I mean, Cybernator has eyebrows.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the awkward editing was funny, and then just like nothing made any sense. It comes down to basically Sybil Danning or terrible sets. Those are my two criteria. Which did I find more amusing? I'm gonna give a nudge to Cybernator.
A nudge?
That just barely wins best of the worst.
So your pick is Cybernator.
I'm gonna pick Cybernator.
Okay. If someone were to ask me which is the best of the worst, it would be Project Metalbeast.
What?
But I'm not picking that. I have to pick Cybernator just because it was so bad.
Yeah. As we said before, it's so pathetic. It's charmingly pathetic.
It was on a level of patheticness that we haven't seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Rich.
Metalbeast is a technically competent film that maybe somebody could take and turn into a decent film, but it's not. I think I'm gonna give it to Cybernator just specifically for the seams in the set wall. It wins by 2 set seams.
Cybernator, the little movie that couldn't.
Yes.
With a special mention to Panther Squad, it is a wonderfully disturbing, distorted mess of a disaster of a movie.
Well, do we want to destroy Project Metalbeast?
No.
It's almost not even worth it. It's so like, yeah, it's not terrible. None of these movies made me angry.
Collectively, this is the most pathetic night of Best of the Worst. Everything was pitiable, but nothing was disgusting.
Dear, I'm well aware the smell of perfume lingers in your hair.